I do not believe in an interventionist God.
Because that's your hunch or some reason.
Because of my theory of why creation exists.
What's that?
When I say this, I say like the creator. And so the ultimate, the creator who created the universe.
But we actually, if there could be multiple layers of creation, right?
Exactly.
But for
That's
us,
the other thing.
For us, we don't know. For us,
we don't know.
But
so the only thing that we do know, there was a creator of the universe, the one who kicked off the Big Bang. Right. And so level, that one, that God, that creator, I don't believe is interventionist.
Because
he did one action. Kick off.
And then
everything else is observation.
Oh, it's automatic, right? Like nature selection. Like obviously many things are automatic. Like so fractional is like kind of this idea, right? So basically you see the mountain are so complex, the shape, but however it actually have a recursive structure. Basically you have a very simple definition of recursion, so they can iterate itself and be very complex. There's a famous book called The New Kind of Science. It's from the guy who built Reforma, which is mathematics software. So his idea is very simple too. So he said even though we have a very simple rule of iteration and creating, after enough iteration, the pattern will seem very random. So completely random, but however it is, randomness comes from the lack of knowledge of where everything begins. Because it's actually definite, it's actually clearly defined, deterministic, but however it appears to you as random, which makes sense because the things people create also work this way. Like we build software, and the point of building a software is that we don't have to intertwine every now and then, right? So we will maybe intertwine very small time, like you play a video game, but most of the time your experience is with the software, not with some people running some operator of the game, right? There's a lot of similar idea from quantum physics. So for example, the partial, if you don't observe, it doesn't exist. It only manifests some way when you observe it. I agree with that. Undeniable. Logically, just because there's a lot of automation doesn't rule out there's manual intervention.
So, because 2 parts is that the creator, and then why the creation. And so my argument is that the purpose of the creation is observation. And so there would not be intervention because the whole point is to observe
what will happen, like a simulation. For example, we just want to simulate what's the point of changing things every now and then.
And also our concept of time is different than how it is reality. For someone who is outside of time, everything's already happened. And so why would this creator do something for observation and see the entirety of it simultaneously and decide to go into a middle of it and grant someone a lottery ticket?
I think
especially like the concept of a lottery ticket to the creator is just like, he doesn't care.
I think like all the belief or the speculation, it definitely makes sense. But I think the main difficult is this. There are so many people state that they observe some miracle, like which is from divine intervention. I think this is the main difficult for this.
So that's why I've been emphasizing that I'm discussing the creator. Is that I believe that there is a possibility of sub-entities.
So which has have stronger power than people, but not the ultimate creator.
Yes. So that there are sub-entities, and those entities could possibly. And so you should be aware of who are you trying to connect with.
It's just funny. It just occurred to me that this morning I listening to some scholar talking about criticism of Paul. Paul never know Jesus in flesh, and he claimed to have a vision. How do we know the vision is not a demon?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
And so that brings up the question of the Old Testament God, Abrahamic God, that spoke to people on a regular basis. Like, what kind of
New Testament too
is that?
Yeah.
In the New Testament, did God ever really talk to anyone? I know that he sent down angels to do his bidding.
No. So my point is that New Testament, God is also highly active in people's life, not as active as many Christians believe. Like, help me in my life, right? Help me, help my job, help my investment to be successful. Not in this level.
Yeah.
But it's pretty active, right? So.
Well, like, are you referring to Jesus Christ God, or because I know that like for example, the Immaculate Conception was supposedly actually executed by an angel.
Well, I think through the whole history of Christian, God is very active, but they intertwine their all this accept. Some of I think there must be some of them aligned. They made up this line too, or just for apologetic reason. But however, it's a very consistent tradition that they even in post letter, right? There are the divine intervention every now and then. Do you believe that they are honest or
not? I do believe that humans are fallible.
Fallible.
Yeah.
Yes, they are, but well, there is a nuance there. So it's not like when people tell you there is a miracle, whether it's Jesus or Paul, obviously it could be false, or Abraham, right, or Muhammad, whatever. But saying that there are many of them, as an example, do you think how credible are those examples? Not any particular one, but just as a whole, how credible do you think they are?
That it's possible, or a specific individual, or
no. I think how because they make the same claim, saying that there is intervening divine, right? How credible do you think this statement, given that there is a whole bunch of people since like 2,000 years ago till today, right? YouTube everywhere, right? YouTube, they are everywhere on YouTube. So how credible do you think this statement, or how do you understand that? Whether they are all delusional, which is true, because if they're like 1%,
I don't think that's 100% delusional.
But how credible do you think it is?
I don't believe that it's 100% delusional. I do believe there are some who are delusional. That some who are liars.
Oh, certainly.
And manipulators.
Certainly.
But so I believe that there's a mixture.
Yeah, it is a mixture, obviously, but like 1% is delusional, and or 50% delusional is vastly different.
I don't know. I have been studying the magical occult. So Western magical occult, and a little bit of Taoist magical occult. And so I've been trying to study like people's experiences, what they're doing, what are like the details, and then also seeing like if I can replicate anything.
Can you?
I have not replicated anything, but I have also not put in a lot of work on it.
Okay.
Well, I have had my own experiences. I didn't, like, for example, try to manifest something, but I have had experiences, like in particular, like I have this one experience with my grandmother after she died. And so, and I did try to connect with her. So I did make an effort to see if I could connect to her. And then it feels like I did. And so I had that experience. And so then it's like, so that's the most that I've been able to like replicate. I'm kind of like a cautious skeptic.
I see.
But it's like, so that's why it's like, I look at the theories and I believe that the theories are like, could be possible. So that's why I said that there's a creator, and then there are possibly sub-entities.
Yeah.
Possibly that they might exist.
I think all these things, all these theories, including the one you described, like there is a creator, which is won't intervene because his main point is observation, right? And there are maybe some lesser god who will intervene.
Yeah.
I think all this kind of theory, they cannot just be proved or falsified by themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Because all of it makes sense. Obviously, it makes sense.
Like my experience, like there's no way to prove or deny the experience unless it was possible to talk to my grandmother in the afterlife. But then again, it's not possible. So there's no possible way to verify if my experience was actually true or my brain ran away from me. I don't know.
I many people state that they talk with Jesus,
Yeah.
and I don't believe all of them are delusional or all of them liar. I think some of them must be. Some of them must be like. Maybe
I know people who have like connected with various other gods.
Mary, for example, that's very common too.
Huh?
Mary.
Yeah.
Mary. For me, my intuition or my belief is that a significant part of them are saying the truth. But even that is like 5% or even 1%, given the total number of those examples, that is a lot. That is a lot. Like 99% of them are either delusional or they are just manipulator for some practical reason. I think, even if 0.1% are right, then there must be some intervening divine, not about Jesus. Maybe Jesus
some intervening entity.
Yeah, this is why, because people don't lie so often, to be honest. Don't lie so often, so consistently, so diversified.
But then there's also coincidence, because there are so many experiences that happen on a daily basis that it adds up that coincidences are going to happen that are going to at the same rate as these possible miracles.
I think that is also part of the delusion.
Distinguishing between coincidence and
miracle. I think I classify them as delusion. Basically, I just buy a lottery. Oh God, help me! This is a miracle. This divine intervention. No, we're just lucky, right? So this kind of thing. But actually, we don't know. Maybe God did help him. We never know, right? But he claimed that there's a God. So that is actually I put them into the delusional part. My point that there is definitely still possibility like that all of them made a mistake or delusional, and the rest of them are just telling a lie, just lying. But I think that the possibility is too low for me to trust this way. So that is a reason, actually the main reason to believe there is a intervening God.
If you like us, please like, subscribe, and comment.
Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.